Ciao, buongiorno, buonasera, wherever you are and whatever time it is in the world. Thank you very much for tuning into another edition of Everything Inter. I am joined once again by Bruno. Bruno, thank you very much for joining me, my friend. How are you?
Like always, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me and glad to be here.
So we're feeling a little bit better. The December curse, maybe we've finally broken something. Maybe we're on the right track to breaking what is always the toughest time of the year for us. We got the 1-0 win against Udinese with the cheeky Icardi Panenka that I think left us all pretty much breathless. Bruno, what did you make of the Udinese win, and have we snapped a curse here, or is that too early to tell?
Too early to tell. We've got some tough opponents coming up, but Udinese, spoke to you after the match. After that Panenka went in, we were still not able to celebrate because Inter have a way of conceding those late goals. So it was actually really satisfying. My one point I do have for the Udinese game, I want to say thank you to Spalletti. Thank you for finally benching Perisic, because you need to show that no one is untouchable. And I just think it will be that kick in the guts that he needed. Hopefully that will give him that sort of momentum, and we just wanted to see change, and I think he heard the fans, and that's what we wanted. But I'm not going to talk too much because I do know we have some special guests who will be covering that. So Anthony, lead them into that.
Perfect. Well, we'll go straight to NYC, New York City, to hear from Mario. Mario, what do you have from us? And straight after that, we are going to hear from my friend Raphael from the Inter Club in Sydney. So take it away, guys. What was your take on Udinese?
What's up? This is Mario with Inter Worldwide. Big game last weekend. Important win. Even though I think we played like garbage. It's important that we got the win. You know, Icardi was a bum until he scored a penalty. Please tell me why you always leave. But what are you gonna do? It brings us to our next match against Chievo, which, you know, another team that we always seem to struggle with. You know, they just give us problems for no reason because we can't finish off these little teams. And I think if we can win this game against Chievo next weekend, it'll be important for the upcoming second half of the season as we reach the winter break. You know, just got to get as many points as we can before we start to crumble again. And then fixtures will start piling up with the Europa League now, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, back to you. Forza Inter Worldwide.
Raphael here for Inter Worldwide. I just wanted to give a quick overview about the game on Saturday against Udinese. Look, overall, I think the team played really well. They played attacking football, they played positive football, and they looked like they could win the game at any stage. Look, as Inter fans, we want to see the players give it their all. If they're not going to give it their all, we're going to boom off the field and we're going to give them plenty of stick after the game. Quite frankly, I think they deserve it because this is Inter, and us fans, we're not going to cop that. Number two, I think Spalletti was playing like his job was on the line. He was making proactive subs rather than reactive subs. As a manager, we want a manager that's going to make solutions to problems, not excuses. I think he bounced back really well from the Champions League elimination, which I don't want to talk about, makes me really angry. But moving forward, I think the Udinese game was positive. The only two negatives I'll take from it is Valero. He's past his prime and he can't play 90 minutes. I think we need younger players to get on the field from the youth. If a player's not running on the field, the whole team's going to suffer. Number two, I think the team was finding it hard to close off the match. Unfortunately, this isn't an easy fix. I reckon that the board needs to get involved, fix FFP and buy some world-class midfielders to make the games easier and the fixture list easier. Look, it was positive. We beat Udinese at home, but we should be doing that week in and week out. Looking forward to Chievo away. Forza Inter always.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for your comments. We look forward to hearing a lot more from you in the future. So now, looking forward, Bruno, we have an opportunity, a serious opportunity here to build upon the win against Udinese. We have Chievo this week. I'm kind of confident, but I'm sure a lot of fans are feeling similar. Like, you know, there's always that feeling in the back of your head about Inter. Do I need to bring up last season? Definitely not. We saw it full blast in December, the kind of crash that we had. So we have an opportunity against Chievo, who are still winless this season. And just looking at some of the names in their squad, Sorrentino, 39 years old, Cacciatori, 32, Cesar, 36, Giaccherini, 33, Pellicia, 39. You know, it's an aging squad, and with a few fresh faces, you know, in midfield, João Mario looking really good, Raja Nangolan potentially coming back as well. This is the perfect match for us to get 3 comfortable points on the board and break that curse. Bruno, am I being way too optimistic, man, or what? What's going on with Kiev this week?
It's Inter. You can never be optimistic. They always manage to throw a surprise at us, good, bad, and ugly. So in their last 5 matches, Kiev have actually not, they have not won a match, but they've only lost 1. They've gotten 4 draws. More notably, they've gotten a 0-0 draw with Napoli, a 0-0 draw with Lazio, 2 really tough opponents, and teams seem to struggle to score against them. So that will be interesting. They're currently sitting last on the table. So, you know what? If anyone should beat them, it should be 3rd place Inter, but you don't know in regards to that. They have not won a game all season, like I said earlier, for 7 draws and 9 losses. I don't know, Anthony, but I just feel that Inter seem to shock in the good and the bad, and I am just very hesitant to be confident when it comes to this match. We tend to end bogeys. We ended Juventus's 49 unbeaten streak. We can end Kiev's unwinnable season so far by letting them win. So it can go both ways. Fingers crossed we get the win. Hopefully we don't play Nangolan. Last thing I want is for him to get injured before the big game against Napoli, but we just know he's on the bench, he's ready to go, so that's good and confident. But the biggest news of the week so far has been the Europa League announcement. Inter were given what was seen to be a favourable draw. Now, I don't consider anything a favourable draw because we should have really been in Champions League, but we'll settle for still being in Europe. We got Rapid Vienna, also known as Rapid Vienna. They finished 2nd in their group against Villarreal. They are probably one of the more preferable opponents that we could have had. In saying that, they are the most successful club in Austria with 32 championships. In saying that as well, they are 8th with 28 points behind 1st place Salzburg, which is a team from Austria that I actually do know. So that is comforting. But in saying that, do I look forward to the match? I do. Do I think it's going to be a walk in the park? I don't. They're in Europa League, so they must have some form of pedigree. They're in the knockout stages, so again, they must have impressed. I don't like teams I don't know too much about, so Anthony, I'll hand it to you to give me your thoughts on that. But I do think we'll qualify. In saying that, if we're in Champions League, we'd be playing 1 game to every 2 games that are played in Europa League. So let's hope fatigue doesn't hurt us in the long run in both the leagues and Serie A. But Anthony, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I'd have to agree. Teams that are unfamiliar to me give me a bit of anxiety as well. But that being said, after doing a bit more research on them this season, they were smacked on the weekend and they just haven't looked like the team that has looked like, going on to win another league title. So I hope we can take advantage of that. Another thing that's worth noting is that players like João Mario and Roberto Gagliardini and Dalbert, who were not registered for the Champions League, are able for re-registration for the Europa League, unless I'm mistaken. If I am wrong, someone please quote me in the comments below. Just to wrap it up, we've got one other headline. Beppe Marotta concluded his transition into the position as co-CEO at Inter, and we look forward to seeing, a shark in the tank do what he can do. There's a lot of fans that are divided about him coming down from Juventus, but you guys can let us know what you think about that as well, and trying not to keep it too long. We thank you here at Inter Worldwide for tuning in once again. Thank you to my friend Bruno. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Anthony.
Anytime, mate. Let's hope for a positive result against Kiev. And as always, Forza Inter. Ciao.